All right, hello everyone. Welcome back. We've got another great matchup for you. Once again, we've got MikeTmikee versus Thabeast. This is going to be a fun one. I am Philito, joined by PC Fangirl.
Hi, guys. Yeah, it should be a really exciting race, guys. Y'all are in for a treat this Friday evening. So grab something warm to drink and some snacks and have a good time.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. It's always so fun to watch so many of these players play, and as we have a quick peek at the standings here, as we can see Murphy with the win earlier today, currently on top of the standings, but a win by Beast here would also put them at 3-0. Mike with the one loss, but a chance to get back into the win column today.
Yes, the Beast being the winner of last season's Expert Endless. So it should be a really good race today. Beast has an 8 clear average, so it looks like we're just going to jump right into it. My first map, on-off switch. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, my first map, we'll see if it's a good one. On-off switches, that's, I mean, it's a Mario Maker classic. I mean,
right. Mike electing to skip over some of the on-off switches in the middle there, but immediately regretting it, while Beast goes and finds the first clear.
Yeah, quick one there for sure. You know, I gotta say, for a first level, pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. When you see first level, you always kind of cringe because you're wondering what's kind of come right at me on an expert level.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, a pretty good one to start.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on to the next one here. Puzzle solving is the tag on the one that Beast is on, so we'll see how that goes. Oftentimes I find the tags a little misleading, but...
Yes, and Mike going ahead and answering back Beast's clear with a clear of his own. Beast finding a bomb, opening the pipe.
Well, and takes a death there from, I believe, a piranha that shot out of that, so... Electing to skip is Beast, and so we'll move on. The description of the level he's just picked says, try your best to beat this level, so a bit of a challenge there, and we'll see if they can do.
Oh, and running into that Kaizo block. Falling right into the lava. Trying it again, though. Missing the thwomp.
Yeah, it doesn't get fooled by the blocks this time, and that can be the difficult thing with these type of stages. You know, I think a lot of times there are level creators that, you know, assume that difficulty is equal to the amount of hidden blocks that you can put into a level, and
right.
Personally, I'm inclined to disagree. I'm always a fan of, you know, something like precision platforming, but it can be entertaining to watch a troll level, that's for sure.
Of course. Some of the best levels, I think.
Yeah,
but
certainly.
You're not expecting it. It's certainly not something you want to run into.
Yeah, you know, on first read, you know, if there's not necessarily really any indicators, which, you know, the trolls typically aren't, that's, you know, with the hidden blocks as really the most common one. But, you know, your first round through, you may think it may just be, you know, precision jumps or something like that, and then you run into it, and at least you're aware for next time. But, you know, your first round through, really not a lot of indication a lot of the time.
And the Beast, seeing the end to this level, going back through the castle, just narrowly missing that end platform, as Mike is still working on this puzzle-solving level.
Yeah, one clear piece still as we're a few minutes into this one.
Mike saying, I've had enough of that one. Going on to the next level.
Yeah, and fair enough. You know, that one, not really much of an end in sight. So the Beast does have the knowledge at the moment of where the end is and makes it to it, so second clear.
Mike shaking his head. Not liking what he's seeing.
Yeah, this one, I think definitely it takes you a couple attempts to figure out what's going on, especially towards the end there, and that jump is quite precise onto that little platform just before the axe.
Right. DGR level. Oh boy. We're in for some trolls here.
Yes, interesting spelling of the word absurd, but it's a troll level, and we'll see what we do. This is the sort of level, generally speaking, that it's one of those ones that it's not too bad to play through, necessarily, on your own time or on your stream or something like that. It can be quite fun, viewer level. That said, on something like this, it can chew up a lot of time.
Yes, definitely. Finding a P-switch and finding some hidden platforms in the lava, but it seems that they have become interspersed at the end, and Beast is falling into the lava. Making it into the door, though. Sees a thwomp. No thank you. And falls right back into the lava. And Beast smartly going and skipping this course. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, for sure. That's, I think, a good time to call it quits there on that stage. Mike knows where the end of this stage is now, and had just like the Beast, just slid off that small platform, but at least knows what he's after at this point.
Right. Beast has entered a level called Death.
It's promising.
Yeah. Dodging some red cannonballs. Oh! Didn't dodge that last one. Yeah, it's still working.
Looks like an interesting level, actually. It really all about timing on this one, but I think once you lock down the pattern, it becomes easier over time.
And finding the end and hitting that axe.
Yeah, so that'll be 3-1. Mike just missing the final platform there, just underneath it. And Beast will be 3 clears to 1. Onto a level called Tubes for the Beast.
Looking at the world record. Oh, and there's some Kaizo blocks blocking his way, but he's not gonna take the intended route, and he's just gonna ride on down and skip part of that level.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's the axe, presumably. Yep, and that's the end of that.
That's the end of that level.
Interesting to see Mike sticking with this one. It's interesting to watch, because of course they don't have an endless amount of skips. They've got the 5 each. Does actually get the axe now, but interesting to see them, the way that they sort of go through it. You can, I think, a lot of times get caught up where you know the end of the level is in sight. You're really close to it. You know mechanically you could pretty easily make the jumps, but sometimes you can get really caught up in it.
Right. And you think, oh, it's just right there. I can do this in a few seconds. A few seconds add up. And Beast getting another clear.
Yeah,
jumping right over that Bowser. Saying, no thank you, Bowser. While DGR. While Mike goes on to the DGR level.
Indeed. We'll see if they stick with it here and
Beast entering a level called Trust Me Is Possible. So, I don't know if I trust them. Sounds like a troll to me.
Oh, my apologies, that's right. It is 3 skips. I was tournament a couple months back that I was thinking of where they had the 5 skips. But either way, managing those is very important, and it's interesting to see the sort of their thought process as they go through it.
This is a difficult timing level, it looks like, because you're having to judge the timing of the red cannonballs along with the regular cannonballs. But the axe is right there, and Beast hitting that axe.
Indeed, so another clear there. has a solid lead so far, but 6 minutes to go, still some time, and looks like Mike will grab the axe on this one and pick up a third clear.
As Beast moves on to Speedy Jumper. Utilizing the dash pads, which were a new addition back in December. Some of the neatest contraptions in Super Mario Maker, in my opinion, are the dash pads.
Yeah, it's interesting to see when there are creative levels with them. It's really interesting because the momentum can be so difficult to control on.
Right. And depending on where you land on that dash pad, it'll shoot you one way or the other. So that's one thing you kind of have to be precise with your jump. If it's, you have to go back the other way, so you can't jump too far. So it's interesting. Beast taking the key on his way, leaping through those dash pads, as Mike is onto the 20-second speed run, dashing those grinders, dodging that Bowser fire, and hitting the axe.
Yeah, bringing it back to a 2 course margin. As the Beast will take another fall, but we'll take another run at this one.
It looks like it's all about the timing of your jumps. Unfortunately, it looks like every jump between those dash pads is a little bit different.
Yeah, not quite consistent.
Right. Mike hitting a spike. And Beast getting another, hitting that flag, getting another clear.
Yeah, it turns out didn't even need the keys. So that'll happen, sometimes they're there just to throw you off, but not much you can do.
Yeah, sometimes they have a purpose of like a bonus room, which is nice if you're doing an endless or like an endless run on your own time, but during a race setting, not so helpful.
Yeah, absolutely not. True endings, things like that, the one-ups mean nothing, so.
Right. He's having to bring a spring with him as he does some wall jumps. Doing a spring drop. Grabs the key. Trying to position the spring where he can get through that key door. And he's starting over.
Stopping to go another round, and
Mike's still working on the cannonball level. He's so
precise
close.
Timing.
Oh, yep. He got that axe.
Yeah, so a 5th clear.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, just the 5th clear there, so brings it back within 2, and 2 minutes left, but if Mike can figure out a way to get through this speedy jumper level, we saw now that the keys weren't actually necessary, so if he can figure that out, might be able to get close here.
Oh, definitely. 2 minutes is a lot of time. Mike grabbing the keys as he's going over those dash pads. Hops in the tube.
Yeah, having some trouble with the door here, with the on the side here. Get through there.
Right.
Although I'm not sure if you can quite make that trick anymore. I think you can still do it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you need both springs. If that's the tech needed. Oh, and Mike getting another clear, finding the end of that level. With just shy of a minute left.
Yeah, it's a close one for sure. 7-6 in favor of the Beast at the moment, as Mike will load into the same level as the Beast is currently on.
Oh, and Beast running it right into that grinder. See what Mike's take is.
20 seconds to go, so really this will be last attempt for both of them here.
It's an interesting level. I wonder. Oh, and Beast grabbing. Oh, thought he was going to try to utilize both springs, but moving that first spring around. I wonder if it's just a precise timing thing, or if there's some kind of trick to it, because I actually haven't seen this before, and time has run out. And that's it for round 1. The Beast ends up with 7 clears, taking that round to MikeTmikee's 6 clears. But it was a good round. Very competitive.
Yeah, definitely quite an interesting one for sure. I mean, lots of sort of trolley style levels, and some that were actually not too bad. So that first one we had, that my first level one, that one was actually ended up being quite a good level.
It did. Yeah, it was quite interesting. You always wonder when you see those on-off switches how close they're going to be, if they're going to be kind of trolly or if they're going to be straightforward with it.
Yeah, for sure. And really only a couple on that one that were maybe a touch unintuitive, but you know, players of this caliber, they're able to figure it out so quickly, and they both beat it pretty quick.
Of course. Looks like we're gonna start off with a level called My First Kaizo, which should send a shiver down everybody's spine. Because you're wondering, you're wondering if it's their first one, how well they've perfected Kaizo tricks.
Yeah, for sure. As they head off into this one, the level description is P-jumps and clear condition, needing to hit all 18 of the P-switches. So first level here is they...
Oh, they didn't lie. It was short and sweet, with both Beast and Mike grabbing their first clear.
Yeah, definitely actually a pretty good level. That's... you know, that's not too bad really for a first level, you know. Once again, we see that player's first level, pretty good.
Right, not bad. Let's move on to a level called Wall Twomps.
Well, there are definitely womps about.
Yeah, it looks like they have to ride the thwomps and wall jump in between to get to new thwomps, so it should be a pretty interesting level.
Yeah, Mike.
Stay on the big thwomp instead of jumping to that little one.
Yeah, Mike taking a lava bath there, but hopefully has seen the way forward.
And the Beast grabbing the flag. Mike taking the top route. And taking another lava bath. Beast moves on to what looks like a 20-second speedrun, maybe? It's puzzle solving, though, so should be interesting.
Yeah, interesting to see sometimes how accurate the level tags are.
Right. It looks to be true to its word. Pretty straightforward, though. Nothing too trolly. As Beast gets that gold tape.
Yeah, and actually had a few seconds to spare as well.
And he's grabbing the world record for that too. As he moves on to a level called Shell Jump Practice, which, knowing Beast, this should be a piece of cake for him.
Yeah, for sure. This should be interesting to see how quickly he can progress through this one.
As Mike moves on to the 20-second speedrun, electing to take a skip and get out of that thwomp level.
The Beast, after missing the first shell jump, gets all of them in a row after that, so we'll pick up the clear on.
Moving on to a level that has a world record of 38 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the players sort of, as they look at it. I mean, they only have a few skips, so have to use them wisely, but and all of the levels selected are, intended to have the shorter records, right. But it's a curated playlist. But it is something worth looking at when you first enter a level and take a couple tries at it, whether you want to, continue spending your time on it.
And Mike going ahead and grabbing that gold tape, getting another clear under his belt. As Beast makes his way through this level with a Super Ball. Sees the flag, trying to figure out how to get there. Gotta find a key though.
As
and
Mike
makes quick work out of the shell jump level.
Yeah, well done there, that's for sure. Both players moving through that shell jump level quite quickly. Not a surprise that, such high skill from both players, but...
Right. Beast does end up finding the key and is on his way to the exit to grab that flag. As Mike enters the ice level, kind of pausing, taking a second to scope things out, as Beast grabs that flag.
Yeah, Mike losing the power up there.
Beast moving on to a new Soups level, Super Space Bros, multiplayer and themed.
It's always interesting when I see the multiplayer versus, because sometimes like with these red coins and things to collect, it's not always the greatest design for a multiplayer level, with the way clear conditions work. So.
And it looks like a low gravity level that you have to twirl your way to the end, which can be quite difficult with the spikes. And having to collect the red coins. And there's no question why it's an expert. As Beast goes on into the subworld.
Yeah, making it through that earlier section there pretty smoothly.
And this one looks like a homage to 1-2 of SMB. Mike finding the key on his way back to the flag to go through that key door.
Phew, made it.
And Beast grabbing the flag. Brings the Beast total up to 6. Mike stuck on a snake block. He's waiting to make his way to the end.
Yeah, it has that key, but those slow snake blocks are definitely, especially if you know that you're near the end, but really just at the mercy of the slow moving.
Beast has what we can only hope is not too tight of a timer, but it doesn't matter because he took a lava bath, restarting the level.
Indeed.
While Mike is still on the snake block, but at least he's on a fast snake block now.
That's right, yeah. Hopefully that'll be able to bring him back towards the goal a little bit
These coin collecting clear conditions can be real tricky, especially paired with springs, like this maker has chosen to do. But it looks like Beast has grabbed all the coins, and it's just a matter of touching the axe, and he gets it.
Yeah, a couple seconds to spare there as goes through the donut, so that'll be the 7th clear now.
As Mike moves on to Super Space Bros.
Yeah, an unfortunate death there for him towards the end, and so deciding just to move on.
Hits the Koopa. Deciding to pause for that power-up.
Yeah, it's quite a tight one, but still has the power-up and gets through there.
Makes it to the door. And goes into the subworld.
Yeah, it's just running through the rest of this stage. I would say that certainly the first part there, all the twirls, was definitely the most difficult part of this stage.
As Beast moves on to what looks to be another on-off switch with thwomps, so those can kind of affect your puzzle-solving skills. They can make you have to think twice about whether or not they need to be on or off. Grabbing a red Yoshi, though, but it is a low-gravity setting. Fighting a Boom Boom. As Mike gets into the speedrun level, the coin collecting speedrun level. Beast still swimming along and sees boss spam.
Yeah, there's no shortage of those boss spam levels. That's Mike just missed a coin and a couple jumps, but we'll look to gather a little bit of information here before trying this level again. At least you could see, part of your path before you go again.
Right. And Beast grabbing the flag. Brings Beast total up to 8 clears this round. With just under 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, dominant lead so far for sure. Mike struggling a little bit here with some of these jumps. They are quite precise. Definitely harder than they might look if you're just watching it.
Because it looks like you have to duck jump through that, and anyone who's played this game knows that can be kind of impossible, especially when you have some spaghetti going on.
For sure. The Beast, though, picking up another clear, so up to 9 now. Some precise jumping there for sure, but makes his way through it, no problem.
Mike's still going through, grabbing those coins.
Yeah, definitely faster than the last run through there.
As Beast moves on to a level called Icicles and Saws. Which looks pretty straightforward. Couple Goombas, but... Oh, and running into that grinder.
Yeah, and Mike on the speedrun level here made it through the level with a second there, but couldn't get to the axe there, needing to wait for to fall down through the donut. So unfortunately, for the end of the stage there, not able to clear it, even though had satisfied the clear condition of picking up all the coins.
And Beast grabbing another clear.
Yeah, definitely a really impressive run from Beast this time around. The first round, very, very close, but the Beast just getting into a bit of a stride here. And
yes, definitely. As he moves on to a level where you have to collect all 125 coins. Now, ice physics are notoriously bad in this game. So, especially when you're trying to do something in a speedrun setting, it can be quite tricky to control Mario.
Yeah, absolutely. And interesting as well, of course, with all the coins, as Beast picks up yet another clear. With a clear condition, it's not at least 125, it's all. So, you know, if you miss a single coin, you have to restart the level. "11 clears, very impressive run thus far from Beast, and still has 2 minutes. Mike moving on from the speedrun level.
Getting hit by that hammer bro. As Beast is doing some long jumps in what seems to be a very tight timer level. Can he make it? Oh, yeah, he does! He does! He hits the flag just as the 0 hits.
So 12 clears, such an impressive run so far for the Beast, and still a minute and 45 there. Got through that level very quickly. It wasn't a long level, just a tight timer.
Right, definitely.
One of those levels where really it's not particularly difficult. I mean, the timing of it is tight, but it's not one of those levels where you really need to spend, you know, it's not particularly mechanically difficult, but
right.
you know, you need to be precise.
Gotta go fast. As Mike is electing to say sayonara to that level.
Yeah, Beast picks up one more onto 13 clears with just under a minute to go.
Yes, I'm a winner.
Mike knows not going to get there, so looks like we'll just call it quits for this round.
Beast moving into Stationary Mario. Standard, short, and sweet. And exiting the course.
Yeah, moves on to the next one. Looks like Mike just calling quits for this round, knowing that not going to be able to catch up there. Just struggled with a few of the levels in that speedrun level, and Beast was able to just get the better of him this round.
That's so true. Whereas the time ends up this round. So,
So 13
Beast
to
taking
3.
that round. Yeah, very impressive gameplay by Beast. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Mike answers back to this.
Yeah, certainly. This is definitely a big gap in terms of clears on that one. The first round, very close, I believe, just by the one. But this one, definitely Beast was able to hit the ground running on a lot of these levels and just make it through.
Right. As we get set up to start this next round, everybody take a minute to take a sip of water, maybe stretch a little bit. While we get ready to go.
Yeah, so this will be the third and final round, the Beast with the match win, but do need to play all three for it is relevant to the standings.
Right.
The differential, whether it's a 3-0 or a 2-1, you know, on the sort of the sets that you've won, that is relevant. So needing to complete that as in terms of the number.
Yeah, as each one of those points goes on to their final score. And since this is a tournament, all points count. So we play all three games. And Mike has returned to us. Ready to start this next round. As we get going in a 50-second speed run, standard speed run level.
Yeah, not surprising starting off with the speed run. We've seen that quite a few times in the past, that's for sure.
Wonder if we need to look at the timer for this one, if it's going to be a tight timer or if it's going to be lenient.
Yeah, it can be hard to tell. Like, you know, a lot of times with the 20 and 30 seconds, they can be quite tight. Sometimes with the 50, it's a little more lenient.
Right.
If
And
it's
anytime you see the side springs, you wonder, is this going to be super tight that you have to launch yourself off the springs to make it, or can you just quick turn and not have to use those springs? Looks like you have to spin jump off these chain chomps though, and Mike makes it as Beast elects to skip and says he's had enough of that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mike taking the death there, so we'll have to go another round here.
Beast onto a level with lots of springs and note blocks. Making his way through, making quick work of it. Mike electing to start over. Working with claws over on Beast's sides. Claws and bumpers, which can be quite a tricky thing.
Yeah, it certainly can, and you know, with all the you know, the bouncing donuts there, it can really throw off your momentum.
Oh, definitely. Going up the donuts. Is there an end in sight? Well, you've got a muncher and a clown card that gets Beast. So back to the beginning. Mike's still working on that speedrun level that Beast elected to skip.
Yeah, again, and we did mention it earlier, but it is that sort of that philosophy of do you get sort of stuck in the speedrun levels, you know, because it functionally, you know, I mean, this one's a bit of a longer one, but it can be quite quick, obviously, because it's not you know, a very long stage, but you know,
Right.
if you get caught in it and you repeat and repeat and repeat,
Right.
you can eat up a lot of your time where you might as well, you know, you'd be better off sort of working on something else.
Yeah, I mean, that's so hard to judge because you think, oh, it's 20 seconds, I can do this. And especially if you've gotten far into it and see there's got to be well, oh, maybe it's 120. Never mind. I was just going by what the title was saying. But you see that, and it's like a tic-tac, where you just keep going, keep going, keep going, and before you know it, you've spent 3 minutes on the level.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Beast pushes back the muncher and makes his way into the pipe. 53 seconds on Beast's clock.
Yeah, and gets to the flagpole there, so picks up the first clear. This is definitely a tricky one. Like, we had quite a few more clears in the first couple rounds within the first few minutes, but this time the players, this is the first clear, and we're for.
Yeah, it is so dependent on what levels they get. The first couple rounds we had quite a few speedrun levels, but these look to be, even though they say speedrun, they look to be more thinker levels, puzzle solving.
Yeah, this one, the one Mike's on here, of course, the one that the Beast just cleared as Beast moved on to the this level here. Some spikes and some
twirl wall jumps.
snowballs.
Oh.
Knocked down a bit, but it doesn't appear that the timer will be an issue, so bumped down a little bit, but is able to keep progressing up.
And having to get through that vertical pipe, which is so difficult.
Makes it through and gets the flag, yeah.
Mike electing to stay on the spring level.
Yeah,
Nice.
we saw how Beast was able to get through it, and it's one of those stages again when Beast got through it. Timer not super tight, but again, maybe not wanting to, because if you do keep skipping, at some point you have to invest some time into a level, not only because you can run out of skips, but also you need to get some clears at some point, and so better if you know a level and it's tough, rather than going through sort of because really it is random in terms of the players have no idea what's upcoming, right?
Right. Beast grabbing another clear, the quick level of spin jumping off of some Goombas. As he moves on to his next level, which looks like the wall jumping level. You always have to wonder if those exclamation point blocks are going to be true to you, or if they're going to troll you and kill you. But
so many levels where you just I never trust them anymore.
no, I don't either. Never, especially not an expert. But he gets the quick clear.
Indeed, so we'll add another one to his score.
Mike
up to 4
moving
clears.
on. I don't blame him. Electing to use that skip as Beast moves on to an on-off switch level. And makes
Mike
quick
now
work of
on
it.
the wall jump level here as Beast picks up another clear, but this level that Mike's on right now, we did see the Beast go through it fairly quickly, and it wasn't too difficult of a stage. I mean, you have to time your jumps well, but it wasn't a particularly long one.
Yeah, I'm assuming probably the hardest part about this stage is getting into that vertical pipe, because I don't think those spikes can actually hurt you.
Yeah, worst they're going to do is push you down with their snowballs.
Right. As Beast enters a level with a very angry sun and some Koopas. Taking care of that hammer bro. So Mike is still on his ascent. Finding the pipe. Oh, gets hit by a snowball, but the end is in sight for Mike.
Yeah, not too far down, really. Just a couple jumps. The positioning for those vertical pipe entries off a wall jump like that is...
Yeah, it doesn't look like it would be that hard, but it is very difficult.
Yeah, and part of it as well is timing quick wall jumps. The faster you can get off in terms of if your timing is good between those snowballs, the faster your downtime really on the wall, the faster you're going to really be able to progress.
Right, and you also have to be careful because if you time it wrong, you can end up twirling all the way back down. So you have to jump and spin as you do that, doing those twirl wall jumps. As he says, that's enough for me. Moves on to the standard puzzle solving level.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, of course, we know that the end is in sight after you complete those wall jumps, but he has no way to know that. There could be a whole nother section like that.
That's very true. The Beast making his way through what looks to be a labyrinth of sorts. As Mike grabs the flag.
Gets a clear under his belt. That's got to feel good to get back on the board.
And Beast having a star and going straight to that flag. As Mike moves on to the exclamation block level. Beast moves on to Crazy Castle Course, standard puzzle solving. The 26-second world record. Looks like a red coin collecting level. Oh my. Going back through that pipe says no thank you. He's gonna cheese the level, it looks like.
Yeah, it does pick up a red coin there and heads back through the door. And Mike finding a clear, so is back a little bit more back on track. That's 2 fairly quick ones there. So now has 2.
Beast using the shell boat to his advantage, getting back through that door.
Yeah, needing 1 more red coin to get the key.
Seeing it and going straight past that thwomp and getting it. As Mike moves on to the on-off speed run. And makes quick work of it.
Yeah, and it's good to see him picking up a few more clears here and make it a closer game for sure. Still a few minutes left.
Definitely. 3.5 minutes on the timer. Both moving on to fresh levels. Mike onto a multiplayer versus level. The level with the angry sun. Oh, and Koopa goes into Beast goes into a level with a ton of magic Koopas in it. Looks like an enemy spam level.
Combined with a ton of dash pads, so making the momentum more of a challenge. Magic Koopas are hard enough to avoid when they're when you're not being propelled at 1,000,000 miles an hour over these dash pads.
But the Koopa in the Koopa car seems to be helping Beast out a little bit by taking care of some of those magic Koopas. And Beast saying that's enough for me, going on to Amazon's delivery service.
Should be a quick level then.
Hopefully so.
Needing a POW block is the clear condition. That's clever. I like it. You know, needing to have the package with you.
That is cute. Hopefully he has Prime.
Looks like, yeah, this looks like actually quite a well-themed level. It looks like it's a it looks like moving the package through the warehouse or something like that. That's it looks like actually quite a fun level so far.
Yeah, it does. It's quite cute. Mike going on and getting that next clear, beating that angry sun level. Moving on to Disbelief Papyrus. Standard, short, and sweet.
Needing to take out the dry bones there to get the clear condition.
Looks like there are enemies on top of all the dry bones, so it's not as straightforward as it looks.
I believe a survival room in this next section here. We'll see Mike go back in there in a minute, potentially.
Yeah, it looks like the packages are on the Amazon delivery wigglers. Going in through Pipe A. Gotta dodge some chain chomps. I guess that's the guard dogs of people's houses.
It's a well-made level, actually. It's
Oh, throwing up that POW, but activating it. So hopefully he can find a new POW. As we have 40 seconds left on the timer. Mike surviving the cannonball room. Having to make it past these burners though before the P switch runs out. Gets through the P door. Can he find the end before time runs out? Beast back at the beginning of the level. And that looks like it's going to be about it for this this match.
Yeah, the first round really close. Beast with an excellent second round with an extremely impressive 13 clears. And will take this one here by 7-4. So another pretty close one by a margin of only 3. Congratulations to the Beast on a 3-0 victory there. A well-played few rounds there.
Definitely. And Mike playing very well with his levels that he was given. Overall, very, very entertaining race, and both these runners are very fun to watch. Bringing the Beast up to number 1 seed in this tournament. So stick around. We've got more stuff, more races coming up tonight. That's going to be it for me tonight, though. So everybody be good. Remember to drink some water, and it is Heart Month, so if you get a chance, take a little extra walk if you can. So that's it for me tonight. Good night, guys.
They are synced now. Do whatever. In the lead again.
Wow.
Side for sure from Cheese. Okay, doing it, moving. Oh no, the Cheese falls!